Guys, so today we have some energy going on that may have us throwing our inhibitions completely to the wind a little bit. Maybe some unexpected actions or encounters going on. Definitely an out of the ordinary type of day. Inspired actions, though, that are pushing us to pursue our truths, pursue some things that we've been wanting for a while. We're finding the courage to go after them today. And that is because we have a big time powerful trine going on in the sky between Mars in Capricorn and Uranus and Taurus today, you guys. So let's talk all about it. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. Big time energy going on today, you guys. Big time astrology. We have Mars, the fire planet, action, motivation, passion, courage, willpower, strength, stamina, passion, forming an exact trine with Uranus, the planet that rules shocks, surprises, expect the unexpected, things happening spontaneously, completely out of the blue. Also, like flashes of insight, instantaneous knowings, divine alignments, and it is the great rectifier, the planet that rights things, that puts them back into a proper alignment when they've gotten too far off course, out of alignment with authenticity and truth. Two of the major themes that Uranus and Aquarius by proxy and rulership also rules. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius. So that is really the name of the game right now anyways, is things happening in our lives that, spontaneously free us or push ourselves to free ourselves from things that have been holding us back from aligning with our authentic truth, tapping our authentic creative potential, and really becoming like are the master of our own individual universes. That is what this energy is pushing us towards as we enter this age of Aquarius, which is all about self-knowledge, self-empowerment, self-mastery, and the ability to co-create with God, universe, and the universal laws of this reality to become that master of our own destinies. That's what we're moving towards. And we have another big time activation going on today in this new moon in Aquarius cycle, which is sort of like our Great Awakening lunar cycle of this year of Great Awakening, and also is representing the beginning of February this month, started on the first day of February, which is our 222 month of this 2022 year, bringing up these 222 angel number numerology themes as well, telling us that this energy is bringing in divine connections and is really trying to push us to a place where we can open to receive true fulfillment and inner peace, inner balance, real love, all of those, things in alignment with the highest forms of emotional fulfillment, which are what that number 222 this year, 222 also breaks down into a 6, which is number associated with love. That's what we are going towards. That's what this energy is ultimately driving towards. And we're in energy right now that has a lot to do with soulmate connections that might be coming in, and also connections that are no longer resonating with us on a soul level, an authentic soul level, a need to be freed from them at this point in time so that we can pursue those authentic connections, those true soul-based bonds and relationships that universe is trying to bring to us right now. And again, let's talk about this Mars trine Uranus that we have going on today, because Mars is also in a conjunction with Venus right now. So it's sort of Mars and Venus in trine to Uranus. Like I've mentioned, I talked about that on my weekend video, but Mars is coming to the exact trine alignment today and actually will be forming the exact to the minute trine at 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning. So we're really waking up into this energy. Let me describe, now that I've sort of talked a whole bunch about the overall and where this aspect is sort of coming into play. Let me talk about what it might bring, what we might experience with Mars, the fire planet, in a conjunction to Venus as well in Capricorn, in the trine to Uranus, the planet that rules lightning speed and shocks and surprises and unexpected things. So ultimately, this aspect, this Mars trine Uranus, is pushing for breakthroughs in personal growth. Throwing inhibitions to the wind today, like I said in my intro, because of a divinely inspired courage that we feel within us to stand in our truth and really pursue our desires, go after what we want. With Mars in the conjunction to Venus as well, and in the trine to Uranus, this is definitely putting us in a position where we are feeling empowered and courageous enough to go after what we desire, whether it be a relationship, a connection, an opportunity, an ability to express something that we've been creating or that we've been working towards, or change that we want to make generally as well. Uranus also rules like spontaneous changes in regards to relationships, primarily because of this Venus interaction that we have going on as well. But definitely the courage today to sort of throw the inhibitions out the window and pursue what it is that we truly desire. We may be spontaneously freed up today or liberated from some types of duties or obligations or responsibilities under this energy. We might be not paying very much attention to like the haters and the naysayers under this energy, and really like not letting anything stand in the way of us pursuing these authentic desires that we are motivated to go after in this energy. This is also risk-taking energy, and being a little risky or taking a little risk about something, maybe it's actually pretty supported, and it might, just inspire the feeling of being alive in some type of way, doing things out of the ordinary that we wouldn't normally do, taking a spontaneous action, taking a risk. It's inspiring this life force energy, Mars, within us today. And by the nature of the trine aspects, trines, they just facilitate things. Things just fall into place when trines are in effect. Like there's not resistance. And with the Uranus Mars, it's not so much like this like combustible energy like it would be perhaps with the square or with the conjunction. It is really this like free flowing, lightning quick, divinely inspired energy that is just pushing us, causing us, inspiring us really to stand in our truth and go after what we want and not really be considering anybody's like negative opinions or assumptions or perspectives on what we are after on this day. And again, just that action and doing that in and of itself is like bringing us back to life in some way. And, because of these influences and because of this drive and desire to sort of like step out of the box today and do something different or take a risk or take an action that we wouldn't normally take, we can actually really like accomplish extraordinary things, unusual things that we wouldn't have expected of ourselves under this energy. And that's also why this energy can really like spur or be a catalyst for some type of self-growth, self-reflection, self-development in some type of way, because a lot of times it kind of pushes us into a place where we see a different side of ourselves that maybe we hadn't noticed before, or other people see a side of us that they didn't see previously or before. And it can just also bring this sort of awakening energy about different aspects of ourselves and our psychological complexes and our drives for our behaviors and our motives and stuff like that as well. Can awaken that sort of within us with this energy. Spontaneous, unusual, and fated connections and alignments are happening in sudden and bizarre ways with this as well. I talked about this in my video for yesterday, and this energy of these soulmates, these fated connections, these divinely aligned like partnerships and stuff that are just showing up out of nowhere. Again, very, very supported today. And we also have the moon in Taurus, which is going to be conjuncting the North Node later on today, which I will get into as we get through a little further through this report. But with the North Node coming into, or with the moon coming into the conjunction with the North Node in the sign of Taurus, relationships, Venus, while Venus is in the conjunction to Mars and they are in the trine to Uranus, this is really making me feel like there are just these like divinely aligned, spontaneous connections that are coming in right now to, help us, to support us in this breakthrough period, in this rebirth period, transcendence essentially out of our old selves and into this new world. Universe is starting to help us attract what we are becoming, and that is switching things up. Things are on the way out, but also things are definitely on the way in with this energy very strongly as well. It can also spark sudden clarity and knowing in regards to actions that we need to take in relationships in order to fulfill our desires. that also may be an aspect of this energy today. We may just get like an ingenious idea or just like figure it out. It just like hits us out of nowhere, the resolution to the problem, what we need to do to fix things so that we can move forward towards pursuing whatever we are realizing our authentic desire is at this point in time. Ingenious creativity is also represented by this action or by this aspect. Uranus is like the mad scientist, like the way futuristic out there inventor, and Mars is action, motivation, passion, drive, all of that stuff. And when we have these two planets coming together, we can just get some really and with Venus and Mars also in the conjunction right now, you know, the lovers, the divine pair, the couple, when we have them in these position in the trine to Uranus, this can also bring some really ingenious creativity and also problem solving in regards to relationships or what we need to move forward to be happy in the relationship with ourselves or with somebody else to attract that right connection in. Let's talk about the Sabian symbols now for a second of the degrees where Mars and Uranus are for this big trine that we have going on today. Mars is the Sabian symbols. What they are a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific point discharging a degree, we can just look to the Sabian and read the symbol, and it gives us just an extra layer of clarity, additional information that we can apply as sort of an overlay on top of the aspects and everything else that's going on the chart, so we can just get a better, clearer interpretation of how this energy is playing out, what is the goal of these specific activations, what we can perhaps expect to manifest tangibly in our world as this unfolding cosmic blueprint unfolds every day and we're looking at the charts. So I always reference the Sabian symbols as I'm doing my work just because they give us more clarity. So back to the degrees of Mars and Uranus today, 12 degrees Capricorn and Taurus, earth signs, where this trine is taking place. Mars as it is at 12 degrees of Taurus. This is actually, or 12 degrees of Capricorn, sorry. This is actually the same degree where Venus stationed to go direct. She was at this degree for a really long time, and now Mars is coming back to reactivate this degree while in trine to Uranus, because Uranus was not at this degree when Venus was not at 12 Taurus. Uranus was still at 11 Taurus when Venus was at that degree. So the trine was not exact at that point in time, but now Uranus has moved forward and Mars is meeting that Venus station degree for this exact trine today. So again, this is also emphasizing Venus's retrograde process and this maturation that we've experienced in terms of what we want, what we desire, what our expectations are, what we are willing to accept and not accept, and essentially all matters of the heart. A lot of reevaluations that have been going on over this past couple months, and this is being reactivated today by this trine to Mars and Uranus. Now, I still haven't said the degree of the Sabian symbol, so sorry about that. 12 degrees of Capricorn, where Mars is today, a student of nature lecturing, revealing little known aspects of reality. To me, this degree is about realizing the truth, recognizing our own truth, revelations about realizing the honest, genuine truth of whatever our story is, and really taking that into consideration and seeing it for what it is. And then we have Uranus at 12 degrees of Taurus, a young couple window shopping. This is a couple, again, with all of this 222 energy that we are in right now and all of these pairings of planets that we have going on, and all of this just general indications about relationships being a major theme right now, a young couple window shopping. We are actively in the process right now of deciding what we want our new reality to look like, basically picking out the features of our new lives right now. And with Mars and Uranus in trine at these degrees, it's we are taking action based on an awakening or revelation that we've had about our own truth, our own reality. Mars at the nature student lecturing, revealing little known aspects of reality that we may have overlooked or not noticed before. And we are freeing ourselves, Uranus, to design, attract, and create the relationships and experiences and lifestyle that we want to be building going forward. Uranus at a young couple window shopping. So it's we are rebranding ourselves sort of individually, personally right now. into the new version of us that we are in the process of becoming, this rebirth. And we're sort of like rebranding ourselves in alignment with that right now. Major personal changes going on in this energy. This is extremely powerful energy with this Mars-Uranus trine, and especially with Venus being right there as well. And back to the moon now. This energy is getting supercharged by the fact that we have a Taurus moon today. Taurus being ruled by Venus in the conjunction to Mars today, while Mars is at that degree that Venus stationed at in the exact trine to Uranus. And the moon in Taurus is also going to be building all day into a conjunction to the north node of the moon in Taurus that happens later today, or during the night. I'm not exactly sure exactly at what time that happens, but this energy is in effect and is building all day. And also right now, the North Node is in a trine, exact trine to Pluto, and in a conjunction to Mercury in Capricorn. So what does that all mean? Well, first of all, the North Node, this rules our collective destiny. This is the evolutionary path of the cosmic blueprint. This is the next phase in our lesson plan. This is the next like growth cycle that we are encountering right now. And the North Node like pulls us in a certain direction towards like our evolutionary path, essentially. And so when the North Node is being affected, is being activated by the moon, a lot of times this can have a tendency to activate destiny, like to spark fated occurrences or alignments, or things are like happening in alignment with the way that they need to unfold in order so that we can go down this evolutionary path of whatever experience we are dealing with at this point in time. And with this, you know, the moon being in Taurus in the sign that is ruled by Venus, while Venus is wrapped up in this Mars-Uranus conjunction today, while the moon is also moving towards activating this destiny point, essentially the North Node, while that destiny point is also being activated exactly by Pluto right now, which is death and rebirth, and also Mercury, the mind, Mercury and Pluto together. We could also be getting some very powerful messaging coming in today that is implicated in all of this somehow. But let's see. Whatever action we are inspired to take today under this energy with the moon doing that stuff in Taurus as well, it is to help us step into our truth and pursue our desires in alignment with that higher plan, the North Node being impacted, the cosmic blueprint. These are like fated things that are going on right now in this energy for sure. Like these connections that are coming in, these connections that are fading away, this is all part of this grand rectification that is going on, and it is very necessary, and it's all part of the plan. And you know, with Uranus being in effect as well, sometimes things, it's like a blessing in disguise or a silver lining energy. A lot of times when we're dealing with it, it seems like honestly like awful at the time. Like sometimes it feels like the absolute worst thing that could ever happen. But what we don't realize until after the fact is that these experiences that seem like the worst thing that could ever possibly happen actually become like this catalyst that propels us into this massive growth and expansion in alignment with our soul's purpose. And then once we overcome and conquer these challenges, or things settle down and fall into place, we are this expanded versions of ourselves that is much wiser and much more trusting of, you know, faith in the universe and circumstances, and just has like gone through this expansive experience that has, you know, taught us something about trust in a lot of ways. And also it just shows us in retrospect how off we were, and it brings us to this point where we are a much better version of ourselves because of that experience that we've gone through. So Uranus energy can definitely be a tricky energy sometimes, and things might not always feel comfortable or fun or safe on the surface while they're going on, but this energy is really being divinely guided right now, and the struggles that we're going through and the difficulties that we're dealing with are happening so that we can expand into this greater knowledge and awareness and really awaken into everything that we have inside of us, and our ability to persevere, and our ability to overcome and to endure and to raise and to elevate and to really tap into ourselves and like become just a more fulfilled and expansive version of the way that we operate with our own energy and maneuver experiences in our own lives, essentially. So this is really powerful stuff that we have going on today. But it is definitely part of a bigger plan that is helping us to awaken, to grow, and to expand into our real authentic truth, and also help us understand the spiritual truths of this reality as well. We may find out some information today or have some very powerful thoughts that transform our minds and perspectives under this energy as well, with Pluto and Mercury ruling the mind, thoughts, information, communication, conversation, in the conjunction together, while also in the trine to that north node again. This destined energy. This could also very well relate to relationships, things that we're finding out, this powerful energy, really intense conversations going on in relationships one way or another, really profound like interactions and meetings with people, again, with this soulmate energy coming in, because of like all of this North Node, Taurus, Venus, Mars, Uranus energy that we have. And then we also have that Mercury-Pluto conjunction in the trine to the North Node. Transformation and a maturation in what we want could be driving this. The North Node right now is at 28 degrees of Taurus. The Sabian symbol of that degree is a woman pursued by mature romance. Yeah, a woman pursued by mature romance. So, and this Sabian symbol is so appropriate right now in the context of Venus having just gone retrograde in Capricorn, the sign of like maturation, and love is what is ruled by Venus. So it's been like a maturation of love, a maturation in value and how we deal with matters of the heart, refining our priorities and our desires and our like relationship to our own internal value and what we perceive as valuable externally and in relationships. The North Node position is talking about this. So it could be this renewed understanding and relationship to the matters of the heart and how we are relating to ourselves and others from a more mature, refined perspective that is actually driving some of these changes, these intense conversations, perhaps these breakdowns in relationships, but on the other side, also attracting in relationships that are matching this new level that we're vibrating at in terms of how we are resonating from our heart after this Venus retrograde process and with the North Node at this degree. We are likely to receive some powerful messages or information today, though powerful messages or information that is linked to our destiny, that North Node again, and is pushing us forward towards expanding into our true potential, that Uranus energy, and causing us to toss those inhibitions totally like wherever they fall and have the courage to free ourselves and go after what we truly want. That is really what this energy is talking about today. The moon in Taurus, the moon in Taurus today, aside from moving into the conjunction with the North Node, will also be forming a square to the sun in Aquarius. So there may be some frustrations, some conflicts, some like banging our head against the wall or something that we're sort of dealing with today in terms of accomplishing our goals. But again, with this Mars-Uranus trine energy that we have going on right now, it's like we don't care and we are moving forward regardless. Like we're moving forward anyways, and anything that we're like up against today is really less of an issue than it may normally have been, just because we have this like Uranus inspiration within us that is like just wanting us to take off in lightning speed and free ourselves from anything holding us back to pursue what we desire. Mars right behind Venus, like he wants to catch up so bad, like he wants to get there so bad. And with Uranus in the trine today, we are really just pursuing what we want, what we desire. And it is very supported. This is not an aspect that is likely to lead to real hardcore negative like consequences or anything like that. This is definitely supported. This is lightning speed forward movement with Mars in the trine to Uranus, because they are both, and another thing, because they are both in earth signs. This is another aspect of this energy. Things are likely to like tangibly, physically, materially, concretely like manifest in our experiences in regards to this. This is materialization like on the 3D plane. That's why I really feel like it's not just like things we're thinking about or things that are like in the ethers or things that are like on the way or like passions inside us driving us. This is like these like connections or like these experiences, this energy is like on the ground. It's physical, it's tangible, like things are happening, actions are taking place. Like it's like a 3D experience of this energy because it's in the earth signs as well. Like this is something that is like foundational, and like we are living this experience somehow like in our lives. Like it's not just in our thoughts or in our feelings or in our passions and motivations, like it's tangibly physically in our experience with this trine happening in earth signs. So this action and forward movement is definitely, as I said, supported by the aspect being the trine, and also with the moon in the conjunction to the north node as well. Not only is this stuff supported today, it's divinely aligned. Like it needs to happen for one reason or another. Fated actions, fated, divinely inspired, spontaneous, unexpected, shocking, out of the blue happenings today, likely in regards to relationships, partnerships, finances perhaps as well. But whatever is happening is likely to be happening fast, suddenly, and unexpectedly. And we are being very mentally empowered in this process as well, with Mercury and Pluto also being in the conjunction in the north node. So it's like we have this courage to really go after what we want, go after our desires, but mentally we're also in a very empowered state right now to really say what we need to say, to have these conversations, to receive these messages. Like, I don't know. We also, where is it? We also, there's a lot of symbolism going on today in terms of the air energy. For one, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but I didn't, the position of the sun today, 20 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a large white dove bearing a message, which I also feel like is putting like an exclamation point at the end of this, like, powerful messages, information, fated, like learning things that we needed to know so that we could make a change in one way or another coming through. A large white dove bearing a message, while we have the north node, fate, destiny, the path forward, in the trine to Pluto, death and rebirth, transformation, power, in the conjunction to Mercury, mind, thought, information. So very powerful information may be coming in today that has a very transformative effect on us. And yeah, the large white dove bearing a message with all of that energy. There could be some real interesting messaging coming through today as well. There's also a lot of other air, and there's other air emphasis being symbolized in the Sabians today. We have an aviator in the clouds. Jupiter is moving to 10 degrees of Pisces today. We have Pluto at a large aviary. So an aviator in the clouds, and then a large aviary, a large white dove bearing a message, and 3 fledglings high in a nest in a tree. That's the position of the black moon. And so there is more of this just like airy like ideas, thoughts, things going back and forth through the air, telepathy, also energy that we have going on today. Lots of air energy being referenced in the symbolism. So I do expect also a very busy day with lots and lots of information going back and forth, minds being changed, definitely changed and expanded viewpoints, perspectives, ideas, spontaneously aligned and divinely aligned actions as well, and also these connections coming in. So like a lot of conversations going on today, one way or the other, things breaking down, but also new things coming in based on this rebranding essentially of ourselves that we're doing in this energy, and this like intense motivation and just like spontaneous like fire lit underneath us today to really begin pursuing our true authentic desires, with Venus and Mars being in the conjunction as well. So that is what I have for the report today, you guys. Unexpected activities and encounters, things not like going just along like the normal humdrum, mundane, regular schedules, this, that, the other. Definitely a bit of a more unusual day where we are just ready to get out there and pursue the things that we really want, and nothing is really holding us back. Now let's talk about the tarot cards for a minute, you guys. I got some tarot cards this morning. I was shuffling the deck, asking God, universe, spirit,